up on some questions with the video I posted. So my main point is don't do what hypermobile nerds like me can do. I don't have any pain if I put this back at 90 and I harm my joint by bringing my rib cage to a 90-degree angle from the wall, 90. Well, I take that arm back at 90. I'm mostly saying don't think that there's any virtue in that. There's only long-term harm. Why? Because you're putting all of the strain here where there's this soft tissue that's very vulnerable and delicate. Now, but we will all agree, we still want healthy ways to access the most space, the most healthy upper back extension, the most healthy hip pec space. So rather than doing something, okay, so I'm gonna go in two directions. One is, probably one of the safest things you could do is like the PTs and including MoveMed UK. I liked your, when you said this in our podcast on the architecture of health. If I do a door jam stretch and my hands are just in a relaxed W shape, and that brings my elbows a little further away. Notice the elbows are going back and down as my body weight comes through the door jam. This is probably the safest way to get this honest extension here, or like when we do tummy time in primal movement, if I was on my belly, I get this W shape, this down and back shape of the elbows. In a sprint, this is actually a down and back. It's like an out, down and back, boom. This shape, putting this idea of healthy tension, never letting everybody gang up on the poor ligaments. And I honestly, guys, the image I get is like when you eat meat and you just pop the joint. Some of these moves for hypermobile people are just devastating, okay? So the other side is, oh, I don't just want to do a boring door jam stretch. I don't want to do boring tummy time. Fine. Like me, I want you to have these lofty movement goals. So one of the things is, if this was the floor and I was doing some really weighted floor work, one of the most important things would be that I don't let this arm get trapped straight behind me, that I would at least be almost just barely angled off the floor. I'd be barely angled. So one thing, if we take that to the wall here, we can play with, wow, what positions can I go with this modest angle of my shoulders? You know, where can I go that feels super good? Oh, okay, I can go about this far before the elbow might want to turn. Ooh, whoa. Woo! Oh, that's cooking. That's cooking. So that's one exploration you could do, is that at what point if you're super duper modest here, at what point does your elbow want to spin so that you get more, oh, there, and it likes to spin back up. Woo! Doing this exploration, you'll start to realize that the modesty and the value of the elbows not flinging back at a 90-degree angle, like I used to do an African dance. If I'm going to do something propulsive, like sprint, it's basically down, back, and out, down, back, and out. African dance is down, back, and out. If I'm gonna to protect this joint. The other thing is, yes, we wanna restore, like if we're a Hunchomatic 2000 like me, athletes, I wanna restore, the root cause of the shortening of this pec is how we're sitting. So I wanna restore like juicy glutes, sitting with a relaxed alignment in an upright, relaxed, supported way, and then naturally the head and the upper back will start to be able to shift back to open pec position. One last thing is an everyday movement thing. That's one reason you bring your work closer to you and you let those elbows go out to the sides. A lot of chairs have support that won't let you, or they even have weird armrests. So this idea that I can bring my work close to me so that my shoulders love being down, back, and wide. We're not pinching. We don't need to do this pinchy stuff. Okay, one last thing. This. So if I'm externally rotating this, It likes to go up a certain amount and then it likes to turn back in a certain amount. But this is because this whole thing moves. So basically, guys, to summarize, I want to take away the idea that we are bullying this poor joint in the front. Instead, we are integrating, we are rotating, we are using multiple joints, we are using our spine, we are getting curious about how we can reach into strong and extended states of collaboration. Ooh, that felt so good. Oh, and last thing, look at this. The reason I put my neck in that one is, wow, when I get this down and back and out with the arm and my neck goes up and out, ooh, and even more, the ropey tension. Oh, that feels so good. So experiment with these rotations and angles, and it can be as simple as this door jamb stretch where I'm not squeezing my elbows tight, I'm wide. It could be as simple as playing games on the wall with my torso at an angle, like what can I do that feels good? And it could be as simple as just come and do primal movement with us.